Yellow. Oh, yes, it is time for Mindset Monday. Thank you. Thank you, Kermit. So, on Friday, Financial Friday, I talked about opportunity cost. And I said, are you buying things to fulfill an emptiness? Are you costing yourself future opportunities? Um, Sometimes we buy things, and that's okay. It's not condemning it. But is it your choice, or is it something you feel like you need to buy to keep up with Joneses, as that term goes, or is it something that you really, really want? And so I've been setting up my office today, and it's this massive clutter. I was joking with Pamela that this is kind of like my mind. It's like all over the place. It's hard to make sense, but it's me, and it makes me feel good. And there were no things that I lost an opportunity because of. I mean, many of these things are hand-me-downs. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a tour, just for fun. And we got here this week back to Montana, and I've been going out taking pictures and just really taking the opportunity, catching up. I've been away, other than 2 weeks here, a week there, a couple days here. I've been away from Montana for 31 years. Um, so here's the quick tour of things and what they mean, or why I have them up here. The first item, I guess I'll go this way, is I feel like the weatherman now. This is my certificate from Online Trading Academy. That was when I took the plunge to say, okay, I'm going to take a chance. It's calculated risk. That was my biggest opportunity cost, is making that happen. So that's my certificate from Core Strategy. The buffalo is from it was an old group of art that they had at Buffalo Wild Wings. They got rid of it, so I got a few pieces of this. So it's memorabilia from B-Dubs, and it's also was a reminder at home when my son went to school to be safe. Just a little reminder. It was hung over the front door to always be safe. It's a wild world out there. On the bottom, well, first there's Grace Kelly. She's was famous actress, became Princess Grace of Monaco. She modeled for this Taittinger ad from the late '60s, and so this is a postcard from Taittinger Champagne. I also have a bigger version, but I left it in Colorado. A fisherman lives here with the catch of his life. I'm not much of a fisherman, but I caught a really good one. Bike. This is Bike Colorado. I mean, I always have Colorado in my heart, and I love to cycle. Photography, really big for me. These were some of these were my grandfather's. Some of them were picked up. Just a reminder, and I love to take pictures. I've been getting up at 5 o'clock. Went to Chief Plentycoo's house and toured that area, took a bunch of pictures, and today I went up to Red Lodge and Cooney Dam and took a bunch of pictures up there as well. Next, the monkey. Well, we're not too far off, so this is kind of me, a smart alpha chimp, I guess. Over there, it's the mannequin, and he's kind of like chilling in the hot tub. It's a Taittinger champagne bucket with a bottle of Taittinger champagne. The boomerang was my grandmother's. It's from Australia. It's also a reminder that what you send out comes back to you. So that's about your mindset, how you treat others. They say how you treat people that are serving you is a reflection. So what you put out comes back to you. Down here, some fishing flies that my grandfather tied. Never met the man, but he was the photographer. He was a fisherman. He built all kinds of things. Again, back before Facebook, people had a lot of time to do things. Facebook, Twitter, all of those things. Let's switch sides here. And then coming up, Robin and His Merry Men. This was at my grandmother's cabin up at Flathead, not Flathead, excuse me, Yellowtail Dam, Bighorn Recreation Area. So these are a few of the mementos from there. Dream It, Plan It, Do It goes along with the trading from Online Trading Academy. That was in April of 2017. We started off on that journey. Um, Part of that journey was going to Mexico and living there for a short period of time. So this is Loteria. It is a game that you play, put a bean to mark. It's kind of like bingo, but you also can learn different words in Spanish. It's just a memento from there. Um, let's see, working our way over here. George Armstrong Custer. I grew up in Hardin, which is 12 miles from Custer Battlefield, or the Battle of Little Bighorn, as it's referred to now. Um, it's it's a reminder. To keep your ego in check. No matter how good you think you are, you need to know what you're up against. You need to go into battle prepared. And sometimes our careers, or even our sports, it's about the mindset and having that right mindset. I mean, if you watch UFC at all, you can just kind of tell who's um, uh, Cowboy, how he just got clobbered by McGregor a few months back. You can tell, and you have to have that right mindset. And Custer, well, he's famous for losing. Um, uh, Ring doorbell, win a dog. That was We had a dog that just we wanted to get rid of, so she's now gone. The guitar, this was Chandler's Christmas ornament. He left it at the house, and I'm like, okay, this is a great reminder of Chandler. He loves music. Um, this trumpet was my great grandfather's. I did actually meet my great grandfather but I was like 2. So, but it's a 1920 silver con. So just unusual. It's silver. Again, more photography. Um, Kermit is twofold. Um, Growing up in the 70s, the Muppets really came about. So Kermit the Frog was, kind of a thing as a kid. It was on TV with John Denver and all kinds of celebrities. It was a lot of fun. So it's a memento from the childhood. I saw this thing. I was like, God, that is so hideous. I gotta have it. The other thing is it's also kind of Dr. Jordan Peterson, who's also kind of, the reason why I have the Pinocchio doll is he sounds like Kermit. So, but I got Kermit before I found Dr. Peterson. Um, the blank slate, that's life. I mean, every day the past doesn't matter. It might get depressed. If you're depressed, you're thinking about the past. If you're anxious, you're thinking about the future. Get present. You have a blank slate. Skeleton, we all have this underneath us, and at the end of the day, we die. We don't know what happens afterwards, and it's also symbolic of knowledge. You used to see these in doctors' offices, and they would talk, and oh look, I'm so learned and stuff, and now we have the internet, and sometimes doctors are not as well informed. They've been 20 years out of medical school, and if you have something going on, you might actually know more than them if you just go online. So um, that isn't why I bought it, but I've always just had that fascination with the medical field. Um, let's see, that about wraps that up. The American flag on the buffalo, again from Buffalo Wild Wings, the other bookend to go with the monkey. Let me see. You can't really see it. I'll twist over here. There's Bullenbush Brewery in Denver. It was a poster I got when I volunteered at the Great American Beer Festival, and I'll rotate these things out. But enough about all that. I thought it would be fun since I've gone from being in the car to being in a house. So today on Mindset Monday, I want to talk about being limited to one thing. As a restaurant manager, people would sometimes say, like, oh, well, why do you, like, I would read Fast Company. Well, why do you read that? And it's because, those companies are on the cutting edge. They're motivating people. They're doing different things. And it's just, different ways of thinking outside of your industry. And a lot of people say, oh, you must really love food. And it's like Jim Gaffigan says, well, I know my way around the kitchen, but I don't like to make the stuff. it was a job. It was a career. The career portion of it was trying to do better than the management that I had when I first got into the restaurant business. It was trying to make a difference. And early on, I really was into it, and I made some mistakes along the way, and I had to work on my mindset to pick myself up. And so I don't limit myself to that. I mean, clearly, I'm much more than a restaurant manager with photography, these different art interests, travel, literary interests, and different things like that. So don't let your current situation, whether it be work or whether it be a broken bone or COVID, limit you. And just like don't let this situation, if you're already in a state that's still locked down, don't let this situation continue to limit you. Use it as an opportunity to better yourself and maybe change those things, or show people like, hey, while I was away doing this, you get rehired for a job. I studied this, I did this, I'm trying to improve myself. I want to be better for work, or I want to tell my job to kick rocks, or whatever the kids say these days. So don't be limited to those things. Don't let somebody put a saddle on you and say, well, you're just this or you're just that. No, you're so much more. I don't know what that is, but you do. You know somewhere deep down inside that you are more, or you deserve more. And maybe this is the perfect opportunity to change things up. So don't let your job limit your future. If you're trading time for money, even if you're on salary, you're still trading your time for money. There is a slight limitation there, and sometimes it is very hard to get past that. Or the mindset of losing weight. If you're in a household and you're the only one who wants to try, everybody else wants to eat whatever you define as garbage. I mean, you have to have the mindset, the strength, and then putting the systems into place to overcome times where you have a lack of willpower. So it's about planning. But with the mind, don't limit yourself, I guess, is the main message today. There's so much more. I'm so much more than Jason, the day trader, or I don't even really have anything food related up here. I mean, that was just a way to pay the bills for me. And I think that I allowed it to limit me. I discovered when I was at Woody's, probably 92, 91 or 92, I had somebody, they were trying to go into law, and another person, they were going in some, and these people were leaving. And I said, well, your best people are the ones that are ambitious. Your best people are the ones that are going to leave. And it took me 20 years to realize I needed to leave. I needed to leave. I had limited myself by staying, and didn't categorize myself as one of the best people who needed to leave. And that was an epiphany for me, and it changed my life. My life is so much better, and I'm so much happier and get to do things. And I have to remind myself, like driving, if I have a bad day trading and I go out and go for a drive, I have to remind myself that, taking these pictures or going places or helping a friend, or, do work on their house or whatever it may be. This is why I did this, so that I can make the amount of money I need to live, not to get rich, but to make a living in a short amount of time, so that I can give to you through this YouTube page and to others by physically showing up and helping somebody. And I really hope that I have some opportunities after this to help some friends out and say, if they're starting a business or whatever, have some conversations, or just put my hands on something and help them get their job done. And that's what it's about. It's the mindset of, I guess it goes back, I'm pretty sure I talked about Viktor Frankl's definition of love is seeing in others what they don't see in themselves, and helping them realize that. And so hopefully I'm helping you realize that in yourself. I got a great call from Chandler the other day, my son, and that was very meaningful. So going to close out for the day. It's kind of short, but thank you for tuning in. I'm going to check my notes really quick, make sure that there wasn't anything. Pretty sure I got it all. Check out Scott Adams' book. It's called Loser Think, and it was kind of a little bit of the inspiration for this. Scott Adams is the creator of Dilbert, and he has Real Coffee with Scott Adams is his YouTube channel, and his book's called Loser Think because people said, "Oh, you can't predict, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a cartoonist." And he had been in banking, he had been in technology, he's opened restaurants, he's an entrepreneur, and he likes to stay busy. He does 2 shows a day, 7 days a week. I mean, he's got a lot of energy, he's got a lot to give, and that's kind of why I came up with this today. Is they're just the world. So many people have a fixed mindset or a limited outlook. And as we get older, that just happens. It's like, you know what? I'm sure there's great things about X, Y, and Z, but I don't care. I've got the things I like. I'm going to stick with that, but thank you for letting me know. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But if you're a little bit younger or you hear something, oh, well, that didn't come from, a doctor, or that was this news or that news or whatever it may be, you might want to look into it. You might, your filters might not be serving you right, or you might be listening to information that the term gaslighting gets used quite a bit currently. So you might be being gaslit either by your employer, a loved one, the TV you watch. Could be a lot of things, but I will tell you, I'm not trying to gaslight you. I give this in love. So be your own hero, and we'll talk to you on Wellness Wednesday. Thanks.